Hi everyone and welcome back to another Brilliant Games. Today we're looking at a battle between two of the best players in the 20th century, Capablanca and Botvinnik. So without further ado, let's get into the game. So Botvinnik has white and Capablanca has black. Botvinnik starts with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, and bishop b4. This opening is called the Nimzo Indian, and it's very reputable. White has very little advantage. e3, d5, a3, takes. So the point of bishop b4 was to trade the bishop off for the knight to damage white's structure. c5, takes, bishop d3, castles, and knight e2. So you might ask, why not knight f3? Well, the problem with knight f3 is that there's this move c4. And after c4, bishop c2, and rook e8, white has a little bit of a cramped position, and this bishop is very bad. Usually against c4, you would try to play for the pawn break e4. However, in this case, black has e4 under control. So now you have a problem breaking out. So with knight e2, if black plays c4 now, then after you drop the bishop back, you have this move f3, and now you can build around this f3 move to play e4. So this is why you put the knight on e2. In the previous line, you can see because your knight was on f3, you can't play this move f3. So knight e2, b6, and now castles, and now Capablanca plays an instructive move, bishop a6. This bishop is white's good bishop. This bishop is cut off by his own pawns, while this bishop can roam freely around. So Capablanca trades off white's good bishop, leaving Botvinnik with his bad bishop. The only drawback of this is that after takes, black's knight is poorly placed on a6. Bishop b2. This is a slight inaccuracy. Queen d3 was Botvinnik's later preference, as it gives the black less options on how to respond. Back to bishop b2. Queen e7. Now a4. Stopping queen to a4, because this would be annoying. If you now played queen to d3, then queen a4 is annoying, because the queen is well placed on a4, and white will have trouble dislodging it. So that's the point of a4, to stop the queen infiltration. Rook fe8. Now what's considered the correct way to play is c takes d4, and rook c8. This gives black more counterplay down the c file, and is considered the correct way to play. However, at the time, white's central control was underestimated in this line. So rook fe8, not really grasping white's ideas. Queen d3, and c4. Now this is a positional mistake. White can now easily build for e4, has an open diagonal for the bishop from a3 to f8, and black's queenside play is not fast enough or strong enough to compensate for white's strong center. Queen c2, and now knight b8. Capablanca wants to play knight c6, knight a5, and knight b3, which would be a good plan if white were too slow to act in the center. Rook e1, and this is a good move, because you want this rook to be behind the f-pawn to support the central advance. Knight c6, knight g3, knight a5, going for b3. And now f3, now building for e4. You can see that both players are carrying out their plans, but white is clearly faster down the middle. Knight b3, e4, and queen takes a4. Even though black has won the pawn on a4, white's central attack is very strong. e5 and knight d7. Black wants to play knight b to c5. This move. To trade off queens. And white cannot afford to trade queens because he's down a pawn. This a pawn would become too strong. So here, Botvinnik plays a good move. Queen f2, sidestepping this idea and also supporting your central advance. g6, f4, f5, trying to stop white's advance, but now, of course, en passant, and now f5. White's initiative is very, very strong here, and Capablanca seems to be struggling to defend. Rookie 1, Rookie 1, Rookie 8, and now Rookie 6. If you take and take, then white will get a passed pawn. This is called a plug. Using your pawn and planting your rook here. And if he takes, you takes, and you get a passed pawn. So you kind of like plug shut black's file. Takes, king g7, and queen f4. Now Botvinnik is trying to infiltrate down the dark squares. Rook e8 and queen to e5, centralizing the queen, pinning the knight. Although here it may look like black has stabilized quite well, and this pawn will be passed, and also this pawn is not going anywhere. Queen e7. Now this is an instructive mistake. It looks like a natural move, blockading white's e-pawn, but the only reason this doesn't work is due to a legendary combination that has become very, very famous. So in this position, I'm going to imitate Gotham chess. Botvinnik sacrifices the bishop! Queen takes a3. Now the point is, you distract the queen from its defensive job of guarding the e-pawn, and now the e-pawn is free to push. But before you push it, you play the move knight to h5. Botvinnik sacrifices the knight. G takes h5, queen g5 check, king f8, queen f6, king g8, and e7. Here, the e-pawn is unstoppable compared to the b3 knight, which is too slow to get back to defend against this pawn. Queen c1 check, king f2. And now Capablanca is desperate, trying to spam checks to the white king and hopes for a repetition. Check, check, check. Takes on h5, check. But now king h4, queen e4, g4, and queen e1, king h5. And here, Capablanca resigned because there's no more checks, and this is mate. And this e-pawn is going to very easily promote. Now this was an amazing game from Botvinnik. Just this bishop a3 idea, distracting the queens in the play, then sacrifice the knight as well, all to regain back a piece, and this e-pawn is too powerful to stop. This just proves how dangerous a center initiative is, and why you should definitely be wary of one if your opponent tries to advance in the center. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this game. It was a really brilliant tactic, bishop a3, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.